If it wasn't already abundantly clear, we have even more evidence that these video game companies are specifically trying to target children with their sick, woke LGBTQ plus agenda. The latest instance of this is the Pokemon Company hiring a new DEI executive who has said in the past, just this past year, that she relishes pushing that agenda on to children. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Roll this up over at thatparkplace.com. We'll have the link in the description below. And Seani Armstrong, a former yoga instructor and corporate responsibility manager at fashion retailer ASOS, announced she's the Pokemon Company's new DEI and social responsibility consultant. She posted this to LinkedIn. After 9.5 years at ASOS, the time has come to move on to something new. It's been quite the journey at ASOS. Many years spent building confidence in my abilities, stepping outside of my comfort zone, and continuously challenging myself to be better. So feeling readier than ever to start this new chapter as DEI and social responsibility consultant at the Pokemon Company International. I'm looking forward to joining a wonderful team with new learnings, laughs, impact, and a crash course in all things Pokemon. You can see the post right there that I took a screenshot of. So first off, Pokemon Company shouldn't even have this position. There's no need for a DEI and social responsibility consultant whatsoever. These positions are pointless. Basically, they are just funneling money to individuals that are going to ruin your company. They are going to bring your company down. They are not going to elevate the company. So on that point, the Pokemon Company shouldn't even have such position. But it gets even worse, because if we go back and just look at what she posted about a year ago, she said this: "There's so much joy at Pride, and I think it's one of the best days of the year. I get to celebrate it with my best friends and see all the amazing communities and organizations who are centering the LGBTQ plus community. This year was my first year participating in the march with ASOS, and thanks to Jordan and all the ASOSers' efforts planning the day, it wasn't a letdown." And here's where, obviously, participating in a Pride event is already deeply concerning, but it gets even worse right here. One of my many highlights was seeing so many young kids at Pride and seeing all those parents making a conscious effort for their children to know that being LGBTQ plus is something to be celebrated, embraced, and proud of, and that if they grow up to be part of the LGBTQ plus family, they'll be loved and encouraged to be themselves. This woman is literally admitting that she relishes indoctrinating children into this disordered lifestyle, these disordered lifestyles, these sinful behaviors. That is exactly what she is saying here. And this is the person that the Pokemon Company has hired to be their DEI consultant. This is extremely and deeply concerning, because this is the agenda that this woman believes in. She's saying it was one of her highlights, is seeing children be indoctrinated into this agenda. This is sick. This is evil. She should be immediately fired. They should immediately remove this position. They should remove their DEI department, and they should commit to staying true to creating Pokemon games to sell Pokemon games, not to try to sell Pokemon games that are actually going to be selling Pride and the LGBTQ plus lifestyle. We're looking at the Stone Toss meme here, where they're trying to sell burgers, and the guy's like, "Burgers? We're not selling burgers." They're not selling Pokemon anymore. If you're hiring people like this, you are no longer selling Pokemon. You are clearly trying to sell something else. This is disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. We must reject this. We must say no to this. And I think we need to put a lot of pressure on the Pokemon Company to remove this position, get rid of any kind of DI agendas that they have. They probably are funding a lot of this stuff. We know Nintendo of America is. They fund that Seattle Pride Parade where you see men riding around naked on bicycles, exposing themselves to the public in the middle of the streets in Seattle. Should not be funded. No company should be funding that. It's evil. This stuff is evil. And they're using Pokemon to fund this stuff. And it looks like they're going to be using Pokemon to try to spread this evil message now as well. And she's going to try to institutionalize this because this is what she did at ASOS. She institutionalized the DEI agenda. She was part of that. She's going to try and institutionalize this at the Pokemon Company, which looks like it's already well on its way there, given the fact that they even have this department. And they're probably going to try and institutionalize this throughout the video game industry because that's what these people say that they are going to try to do. And in fact, she did have an external program that she launched at ASOS to try to do such a thing in the fashion industry. She says, I joined Daniel Peters and Tiffany Frazier at the Fashion Retail Academy to discuss the current state of DEI within the fashion industry. So many of the students are centering DEI conversations in their final major projects, which demonstrates just how much DEI is starting to solidify within the core of the industry. Look how excited she is there. She's excited that this evil ideology is being solidified within the fashion industry. It's being institutionalized. People are thinking this is normal now. They are writing their papers, their major projects are all about pushing this agenda. This is what they are trying to do. They're trying to make this stuff normal when it is not normal at all. If you're trying to normalize something, it is not normal. This stuff is wrong. It was interesting to get their perspective as both consumers and future industry professionals. Best of luck for the final projects. She then said this, looking forward to coming back to a productive August where we'll be onboarding ethnic minority-owned brands onto our incubator program and working hard to deliver ASOS's first ever external DEI strategy. So they built this, she built this up internally, and now she's going to try to saying she's talking about spreading it to the rest of the fashion industry. What does this tell us? I think they're going to probably do something very similar with the Pokemon Company. I think that's exactly why you hire someone like this. These are her highlights, targeting children with the LGBTQ plus agenda and trying to spread the DEI agenda throughout the corporation that she works at, in this case now being the Pokemon Company, and then trying to spread it outside into the entire industry at large, which is the video game industry, obviously Nintendo probably being the first, Nintendo of America. And as I said, they already have their own problems already and are well on their way to trying to spread this poison and are spreading this poison. So this is really, really bad stuff here for the Pokemon Company. And we have to say no to this. It's just sick stuff. Clearly targeting children here, making it clear that's what they're doing. And again, this isn't something we haven't seen before from the Pokemon Company. They did have a job listing. It's no longer there anymore, but they had a job listing for a director of diversity, equity, inclusion, and responsibility, and social responsibility, which looks like it looks like Seani Armstrong is this person. They might have just given her a different title, but they said that this job listing is basically you're going to discriminate people when you hire, because it says here the director of diversity, equity, inclusion, and social responsibility facilitates and promotes the Pokemon Company International's global culture of innovation, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. This role will partner with the DEISR team to build diversity, equity, and inclusion and social responsibility initiatives and programs to influence employee engagement, talent acquisition, talent management, charitable community engagement, and marketplace opportunities across our global team to engage and retain talent and foster relationships in local and global communities. So there you go, talent acquisition. It looks like they are indeed engaging in illegal practices here in the United States. If they are indeed hiring people based on those on your skin color, on your sex, on your gender in the United States, that is illegal. And they are literally admitting that that's exactly what they are doing here with their diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. It's in the job description. This role will ensure that the core elements of TPCI culture, the Pokemon Company, are well-defined and ever-present to employees, highlighting engagement as an essential component to support a positive, diverse, inclusive, innovative, and high-achieving environment. As I said, they're going to try to institutionalize this within the company. They are literally pushing propaganda within the company to ensure that all of their employees are on board with this evil agenda. They're trying to normalize it within the company. This position will report to the Vice President and Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, lead the DEI SR team, and will partner with stakeholders across the organization and operate as an internal business consultant. So there you go. And she's getting paid between $178,000 and $211,850. Obviously, this position was in Bellevue. I think she's taking a position in the UK, but one would expect similar responsibilities. So the company has, as I said, has also been funding a lot of this evil stuff. Back in 2022, they pledged $25 million to various organizations to support children and social equity back in 2022. They said, at the Pokemon Company International, we believe in inclusion and belonging. Alongside our Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and our company core values, our employee resource groups help us all become the very best that no one ever was. The company revealed 4 employee resource groups. They include the Pokemon Black Diaspora, Familia Pokemon, the Rainbow Gym, Women of Pokemon, and TPCI Parents. I guess those are 5, actually. I can't count. But 4 of them clearly based on identity politics. And then obviously we have all the descriptions about what these groups are. Interestingly, there's none for white people. There's none for men. You see the discrimination that the company has, even in its employee resource groups, right? So, and then they donated to all of these, a number of these organizations, which are clearly radical, pushing this agenda. Trevor Project, 100 Black Men of London, Black Girls Code, BGC, Black Girls Code Canada, Interfaith America, Young Women Empowered, the NAAC Illegal Defense Fund, Stop Oppie Hate, and there are a bunch of others. So you can see that they have a history of this, and they obviously have a department on this stuff. And now they are hiring this woman, Seani Armstrong, who has literally said she relishes, and one of her highlights was indoctrinating children into the agenda. I mean, that is what she said right here on LinkedIn. This is evil stuff. We must oppose this. We must say no. We must apply pressure to the Pokemon Company. They need to remove this department. They need to fire this individual. They need to get back to selling Pokemon, not selling the LGBTQ plus agenda. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth. And we should always pray for our enemies. But that does not mean we do not oppose them.